Dave literally parked in the disabled bay outside the pub the other day, and he was like, well, you are technically disabled. I had my moon boot and everything on, so technically I was.
Fucking moon boot.
I did. I bought this thing off Amazon, that keeps you, and you pump it up. You pump it full of air. Like them blood pressure things that they put on your arms when they're testing your blood pressure. It's like that, but it's a boot. John, do the intro.
Hello and welcome all into the MO podcast. As always, you're here with me, Consummation,
and me, Atreya.
And today we are going to be talking about something that I really hope we haven't done this before, because I've done it all, and then this week I was like, shit, have we done that?
You don't even know what we've talked about?
No, we've talked about it in passing, but we haven't done it, I'm 100% sure.
Really? Because this is your show, you should know.
I know, I really should, but yeah, I don't remember what I did yesterday, so never mind what I did 50 weeks ago. But it's top of the list, like our list of suggestions when we started this. And
okay.
It's DB Cooper.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that as well kind of fills me with trepidation, because I know you really like this one. And
the latest, not the latest, but the last issue of 40 Times was all about DB Cooper. The guy was a legend.
Well, I'm boned, aren't I? Here we go. Come on, Wikipedia, copy and paste. Let's hope this works.
I can send you the magazine and we can re-record if you want.
Yeah, maybe this should be, we should do an update on this later after you go, that shit. We're not doing that.
It's already solved. It was Loki.
Okay.
Did you not see the Loki series, the Marvel Loki series?
Spoiler alert, by the way.
It was Loki, yeah.
Sorry,
everybody, but Thor's brother Loki was actually DB Cooper, so solved.
Yeah, well, there we go. And this has been the MO podcast.
What was your theory, Ant? The wrong one.
So, DB Cooper. The day before Thanksgiving in 1971, a man jumped out of a plane with $200,000 and he was never seen again. So this is... It's not an apocryphal tale because it actually happened, but I think the legend that has grown up around this is just amazing. It's fantastic. There's so many...
It really is.
Who could it be? Why? What? How? About this. And so, the day before Thanksgiving, Dan Cooper purchased a one-way ticket from Portland to Seattle, which he paid $20 in cash for. So, cheap, to be quite honest.
Yeah, for real.
And he was carrying a black attaché case. He was wearing a business suit with a black tie. Now, just after takeoff, Cooper ordered a bourbon and soda because he's that type of guy.
Why wouldn't you? He's so fucking cool.
Exactly. And he gave a note to the flight attendant, Florence Schaffner. And because she'd been in this situation before, she just thought it was some lonely businessman trying to hit on her. So she just went, nah, put it in her pocket.
Here's my number. Yeah, and no. I'll just put this in the back.
At which point, Dan Cooper went, excuse me, I've got a bomb. You should read that note.
Yo, bitch, I got a bomb. Open the goddamn note.
Basically, I don't generally think he shouted it because as far as I'm aware, most of the passengers were unaware of what was going on.
Do you not think that the flight attendant might have kind of gone, yeah, you've got a bomb. That's what the last guy told me as well. And it turned out it wasn't so big a bomb. So how about no? Maybe she thought he was talking about his tiny dick.
Could have been. Could have been. But he did say, just pull up a pew next to me and have a look at this, love.
Yeah, heard that one before, sweetheart. I've got drinks to deliver.
And he went, oh yeah, Zip. Have a look at this.
Has he undid his briefcase, not his flies?
It's like one of them newfangled ones with zips around it, right? So he opened up his briefcase as she was sat next to him, and she said that she saw 8 red cylinders, 4 on top, 4 on bottom, and they were attached to wires coated with red insulation and a large cylindrical battery.
What kind of candles are these? Dynamite.
Yeah.
They're very bright.
To me, it sounds more like a movie bomb than an actual bomb. Because she straight away, no police training, no bomb squad training or anything, went, fucking hell, that's a bomb, that, son.
It's 100% an Acme bomb, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He may as well have been fucking Wile E. Coyote.
Beep, beep. It 100% was an Acme bomb. And he wasn't even a real bomb. He was just like, what looks like a bomb? Okay, if I get like 5 candles and I wrap them together with electrical tape and I write dynamite in big permanent marker across the side, and I put some like just wires that aren't attached to anything, but they're just there, that'll fool everybody, because it's that time of the century where everybody will be fooled. If I say, hey, I've got a bomb, and then whop this open, because everybody's seen Looney Tunes.
Exactly.
And clearly it worked.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, should point out, between 1968 and 1972, there were 130 hijackings around the world, and from January 1970 up to this point, half of the plane hijackings that had taken part were political. It's like the films you see when a Cuban dissident gets up and goes, "Take me to America," or "Take this plane to Cuba," kind of thing. So there was a lot of hijackings at this time, but still, I don't really think the air stewardesses went through bomb training school.
Would you not think the passengers would be all over that, though? If, like, somebody jumped up in the middle of a flight and went, "Take me to Cuba," I'd be like, well, fuck yeah, we were going to Birmingham, so turn me around.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be sat in the back going, yeah, I'll have a Bacardi and Coke. Bring it on.
For real. Let's make this an overnighter. I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like, just don't trigger the bomb, and then we'll get there, and then we can all have a party.
Yeah, but we all know it's not a real bomb. We all know that's an Acme bomb, so take us to Cuba. Ha! All expenses paid. Oh, yeah.
Well, it'd be on the insurance company, wouldn't it, when you get there, because they've got to put you up, the aircraft company, yeah. So
exactly. Take me to fucking Cuba.
Shit, I might just do it for a holiday.
I was going to Glasgow and it's February, so take me to Cuba.
Yeah, bang. There you go. Awesome. I'll do 25 years for 2 weeks at the all-inclusive.
For real.
Florence went to the cockpit to tell the pilots about the situation, and they basically radioed through Cooper's demands, which were $200,000, 4 parachutes, which were 2 main parachutes and 2 backup, and a fuel truck on standby when they landed at Seattle. So when Florence returned to check on Cooper, see if he's not, like, made a fucking slingshot or something, he was wearing sunglasses.
Of course he was. He's so fucking cool.
Why wouldn't he? You know, he's like, yeah, let's ride this thing out.
Oh, he was like MIB, wasn't he? He's so cool.
Yeah, he could. I mean, so suave. He was James Bond. Just.
I just wish he was my Uncle Dan. You know.
be. Oh, just imagine that.
Yeah, I couldn't even not tell anybody either. Like, oh, you hear that guy? He was called D.B. Cooper. He jumped out of a plane and then got away. I'm like, that was my Uncle Dan! He's so fucking cool. He's honestly, isn't he so amazing? Was he wearing his sunglasses? I bet he was wearing his sunglasses. He probably was. He probably said he had a bomb as well. He never has a bomb, but it always works. And honestly, he's just the coolest relative I ever have. We invite him to all our parties. Is he going to be at the next party? Oh, hell yeah. Well, the FBI are going to be there as well, just so you know.
You'll know who he is. He's stood in the corner wearing a suit, a clip-on tie, and sunglasses.
He's still got the goddamn briefcase.
Yeah. Be drinking bourbon and soda.
He'll be the coolest person in the room. You'll spot him a mile away.
I mean, I think that's probably why he's not been caught, because he didn't tell anyone, because obviously that would be a reaction like, what the fuck? You're him? What?
For real.
So his demands were relayed to Seattle Air Traffic Control, and the other 35 passengers were told that they'd be delayed in landing due to a mechanical issue. Now, right, I'd be more worried about the mechanical issue than someone with an Acme bomb. Really?
Yeah. Wait. Okay, so I heard somebody in row C say that there was a dude, a really fucking cool dude with an Acme bomb. But do we have engine failure right now? Because, wow, okay, shit is going down. Oh my, we are going to die. We're gonna... No, I don't care about the guy with the... It's an Acme bomb. Okay. We have engine failure, right? We have real issues to think about right now.
Where are the phalanges? We need more phalanges on this plane. Don't care about the cool dude sipping bourbon and soda in his sunglasses with that briefcase ticking away. Phalanges is what I've been told.
Oh, God.
So the plane was delayed for 2 hours. This should have been a half an hour flight. So they're just circling around they were circling around the Puget Sound, which the reason why they were doing this is because in case the bomb went off, then the debris wouldn't fall on people. The Puget Sound is like the coastal area, so it wouldn't fall on people. But this also gave the FBI and local police time to get the ransom and parachutes. Now, the ransom was collected from several banks, not just one. The FBI didn't go in and go, we're the FBI, give me all the money in the vault. They went round and went, can we borrow a tenner?
The bank was just like, I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. We have a £250 withdrawal limit for today per person. So there's a NatWest across the street. We're Lloyd's, Barclays down the road, Co-op further down if you want to go down that route. But it's £250, I don't care who you are.
Exactly.
You could be the men in fucking black for all we care. You ain't getting more than 250 quid.
Like 250 quid, that's a lot of banks to be going around. Like, oh, fuck, I'm at the limit. Have we got another car? Oh, my wife's going to kill me. This is our savings. The office didn't give me a company card yet. I've been here 2 weeks. Don't give them out till 6 weeks. Jesus. So while the plane was circling, Cooper made small talk with the flight attendants, and according to another flight attendant, Tina Mucklow, he seemed rather nice. He was never cruel or nasty. He was thoughtful and calm all the time. He actually paid for his drinks as well, which is like
so nice.
It's just smooth as fuck. He's like, yeah, there you go. Keep the change.
No, I don't want it for free. Of course I'm going to pay here.
Yeah, it's like,
Charge me full price.
I've got 200 grand coming my way. I can pay my own way. Don't worry about it.
I can handle a $1 drink.
Yeah. I've got $100 bill. It's marked, but can I get change in non-marked bills, please? So, when they finally landed, the FBI and police came to him with parachutes, and at first they came to him with the army parachutes, and he went, nope, not having them. He wanted, not going to say professional, because like I'm sure the army ones are professional, but
the army are like, hold the fucking phone here. This is not a professional parachute. This is one of the ones that you put on the little toy plastic army soldiers, and then you throw them out the window, and they just go. Well, we want professional parachutes if we're jumping out of planes for God and country. What the fuck is this? Yeah. I don't want them fucking army parachutes. Give me a professional parachute.
The FBI then had to go and wake up I don't know if he was asleep, but
The parachute professionals.
the local skydiving place was actually closed, so they had to get into contact with him, and apparently he haggled with them to sell them these parachutes. Which fair play. He's like, he's got by the balls. He's like, I'm the only parachute guy in town.
That's amazing. I love that.
So then they dropped it off. The head of the airline actually went on board to drop the money off as well, because someone from the FAA, the Federal Airline Authority, asked to speak to him and come on board, and Cooper just went, no, just give me all the civilians. So once he got the money and the parachutes, he let all the civilians go. Now, it's interesting to know that the FBI were going to give him a dummy parachute. So the FBI were willing to murder this man.
But he was wise to that.
Exactly. This is the reason why he asked for 2 parachutes. So the FBI thought he was going to take a civilian hostage on a skydiving episode.
I thought he asked for 4 parachutes and they give him one that didn't work.
No, so he asked for 4. So he asked for 2 front and 2 back. So 1 front, 1 reserve.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, right, okay.
So they thought, because he asked for 2 of each, they thought he was going to... Yeah, they was going to take someone with him. But they were quite happy to go, you know what, if it's just him on his own, we can...
Plummet to his death with a shit parachute.
Yeah, who cares? So that's nice to know, the FBI.
Killing a legend. Bastards.
After refueling, the plane took off with only 4 people on it, other than Cooper. So there was Captain William Scott, there was First Officer William Ratasak, there was Flight Engineer Harold E. Anderson, and there was Flight Attendant Tina Mucklow. Now, the plan was to fly to Mexico, but the First Officer William Ratasak pointed out that they'd need a refueling stop along the way, because the fuel, the engine size, the scope of this plane, it wouldn't get to Mexico straight away. So it was decided Reno, Nevada was going to be the refueling stop. But Cooper never actually decided this. He just left it to the pilots to kind of decide. So the plane took off at approximately 7:40 p.m. and at 8 p.m. a warning light flashed in the cockpit, which everyone, all these 4 people, that's where they were holed up, because he just went, no, leave me alone now, as soon as they'd taken off. That warning light indicated that the aft stairs had been lowered, and the pilots over the intercom asked Cooper if he needed help. He thought there was something wrong, like something going on, and he said, no, I'm fine, via the cabin phone.
I know what I'm doing.
He did.
I've had a Bacardi and Coke.
Yeah, exactly. I've had 2 of them. I'm living this dream. Jesus. So at 8:13, the aircraft's tail section sustained a sudden upward movement. Now, previously to this, the crew had noticed a subjective change of air pressure, which indicated that the aft door was open. Now, before the plane had taken off, Cooper did have some stipulations. They needed to keep under 10,000 feet, and the cabin was to be depressurized. The plane continued on to Reno and arrived at 10:15 in the evening, around about that time. And because all the crew was in the cockpit, they'd not actually seen anything happen. The plane was stormed by armed police and searched, and it was found that Cooper wasn't on board. So, obviously, the theory is that he's jumped off, which was going to be his plan all along, but he just did it on his own without anyone else. So the FBI started investigating immediately. Now, the first suspect was a petty criminal from Oregon who was just happened to be named D.B. Cooper. And just in case he was a little bit wrong in the head and decided to use his own name in a plane hijacking, the FBI went knocking at his door and went, come on, mate. It's gotta be you, ain't it? And It wasn't, really, because he was a petty criminal. He wasn't this phantom of the skies and shit. But the reason why the name D.B. Cooper is synonymous with this case is because of him. Because of a local reporter named James Long. He was rushing to meet a deadline, so he just pushed it out and said, "Oh, it's this guy." And this was picked up by Associated Press and other outlets, and they printed this mistake. So,
can you imagine if he actually did, though? Like, passport control, and they're like, name? It's like, Dan Baron Cooper. And they're like, D.B. Cooper. Wait. Shit. I mean, sorry, I've got, like, weird Tourette's. I meant Kevin Bacon. That's my name. It's Kevin Bacon. Just forget whatever I just said a minute ago. My name is definitely not. Joke's on you that you guys fell for it. You believed that I said that my name is D.B. because it's so funny. It's not.
But on the flip side, imagine if he actually did do it and he just went, "Oh, the FBI rock up at his door," and he went, "Do you honestly think I'm that stupid?"
Like a double bluff?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Right. I'm only a petty criminal. I don't work in the airways.
As if I'd be that stupid. Hello, go knock on somebody else's door that isn't called Dan Cooper or D.B. Cooper or anything D. Cooper, okay? Because nobody's going to be that dumb. And then as soon as he shuts the door, like, "Ha, you fools."
And as well, I bet he was there stroking the FBI's agent's ego. Like, you FBI agents would be far too smart to see through a ruse like that, wouldn't you?
As he's stroking his bald Sphinx cat.
Yeah, like, doing a Mr. Dr. Evil. You're so clever, FBI agents.
Yeah, and they close the door and they're like, "It's definitely not him then, is it?" Because like he says, who would be that stupid to... Had a nice cat though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Weird laugh though.
Yeah.
Weird laugh.
Weird child as well. And who was that German woman?
Oh, and if he tells me I've got a whole bag of shush with your name on it one more time, I swear to God, I was going to take him in.
Did you notice them sharks with laser beams on their heads as well? What's that
Frickin' laser beams, I know, right?
Apart from that, nice guy.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. You know what it is, right? If we have any post-2000 listeners, they're not even going to know what we're talking about right now.
I know, yeah.
That's what makes me really sad.
I know. Well, it's made me happy because it made me giggle quite a lot, that little bit. Get educated, that's all I can say. Austin Powers.
For real. Yeah, for real.
So, physical evidence was hard to come by. There were 66 unidentified fingerprints on the plane, but it's the fucking plane. So...
Yeah, lots of people travel on planes.
Yeah, and if it was only literally doing these short stops, so it had been used like a train. It just goes to one stop, goes back, goes one stop, goes back. It's like picks up countless people every day. All Cooper left behind was his clip-on tie, and the actual tie clip.
This is the only bit of the story that I hate, is that he used a clip-on tie. Like, I know how to, like, fasten a tie. I would never. I would be mortified if I used a clip-on tie. I feel bad that he doesn't know how to tie a tie. That he's had to use a clip. Who uses clip-on ties?
Bouncers, spies.
Apart from spies, do not use clip-on. Spies would never use.
So the reason why the clip-on tie for people who work in security and in that kind of environment is because
so they can't be strangled.
Yes, you've got a noose around your neck, quite literally. So if he was expecting some funny business, some shenanigans, he may have just been able to clip it off and do all his ninja stuff.
Or he could have just worn, like, you know, t-shirt and jeans. like anyone else on the plane. He didn't have to dress like a businessman. He could have just changed his disguise.
Look, right?
Is this me just being logical?
I mean, you're picking holes in the story, really.
But I'm just saying, okay.
Just because ease of access, quick in, quick out.
Well, I'm sorry, but I just have questions about people who use clip-on ties, okay?
In like Flynn.
I just have questions about their upbringing, that's all.
Fair enough. Not all of us are lucky enough to have a father that
Be able
will
to tie a tie.
What
the My dad never knew how to tie a tie. I had to learn that from school.
Okay, maybe...
Never wore a tie in my life.
Maybe that's just where I'm from. What I meant to say was, not all of us have been brought up with a father who goes to court regularly.
Yes, that's correct. Not all of us have.
Yes.
Some of us got brought up and moved to the countryside and got told, here's a tie, figure it out.
Yeah, just put this little noose round your neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wasn't the tie or the noose I had to worry about. It was people spitting in my hair. That was the worst of it. Bastards. It's alright, I think they're all in jail now, it's okay. But not with DB Cooper.
Well, exactly, yes. He got away with it.
Yeah, outwitted you all.
And look at me now.
I love it.
So, the FBI, the search area was also kind of difficult to narrow down because there's a lot of factors involved, like environmental factors, whether it was raining, etc., the speed that the plane was going, the altitude the plane was going. So it could have been over this massive area. But what the FBI did, they did throw a 200-pound sled off the same plane on the same flight path, driven by the same pilot, because that's as accurate as they could get it. And it was determined that at 8:13, when this upward movement and the plane felt this air pressure, that was actually when he jumped off. And at about that time, they were flying above the Lewis River in southwestern Washington state. Now, just as an aside, I've been listening to some podcasts today. They mentioned the Lewis River quite a lot and Washington state, but that was about Bigfoot, so we won't go there.
Oh, forgot. We've been through this, Anne.
Maybe Bigfoot picked him up. That's just a new thing that's come now.
Don't ruin the enigma that is DB Cooper by blurring the lines with Bigfoot. He didn't need no Bigfoot, okay? He was DB fucking Cooper, dude.
Okay, well, we'll get to the end and we'll see.
Wow.
So, fixed-winged aircraft equipped with surveillance equipment from the National Guard were used to fly over the route, which officially is called Flight Path Victor 23. And although they saw broken treetops and parachute canopies, nothing relevant to the hijacking was recovered. Now that raises questions for me. Did they investigate these parachute canopies that were just left in the trees, or did they go, standard, innit? Nothing to do with us.
They were from the war. Move on.
Nothing to do with the hijacking, so we can't touch that. Sorry. I'll be out a week on Tuesday to see that.
Yeah. There's loads of skydivers all the time around here. Honestly, amateur parachuters, skydivers, thrill seekers. Let's not even go there. Let's not even look at them.
Yeah, that was bizarre. It's just like, yeah, there was loads of evidence, but because none of it pointed to the hijacking, we just went, nah, someone else's problem in it.
Do any of those parachutes say, I have a bomb on them?
Acme.
No. No. Right, move on. We'll be fine. It's not the guy we're looking for. Amateur skydiverists.
Yeah, they're the idiots. Not professionals. Not the professional
Clearly.
we're looking for.
Clearly.
So the FBI agents and sheriff's deputies, they searched large areas of the mountainous wilderness on foot and by helicopter. Door-to-door searches of local farmhouses were also carried out. Sounds like a fugitive again.
Like he was just going to answer the door in his suit and sunglasses, yes.
With a bourbon and soda in his hand. I've been expecting you.
We're looking for a man who looks exactly like you, who's drinking a bourbon and soda and wearing sunglasses. Well, it's not me.
Can't be me because I have manure on my shoes. I work this farm.
Or would I be so stupid as to answer the door looking like a fugitive if I was a fugitive? You know what, Neil? He's got a point. He's got an absolute... Move on, dude. This isn't the guy. And DB Cooper's just like, oh, these guys. These fucking jokers.
How brilliant would that be if there was a manhunt going on in your area and you got the description, you went, fuck it, I'm going to dress up like him. Just for when they come to my door, I'll answer it and go, hello!
So every door they knocked on, there was a guy dressed in a suit with sunglasses and a clip-on tie drinking the bourbon and soda, and they were like, right, who put that APB out with the description? Because that person their career is over.
That's a modern day Facebook group that we need to make happen, because them idiots over there would do it.
Oh, I fucking love it. Amazing. Everyone in the neighbourhood answers the door in the exact same outfit with the bourbon and soda. Sorry, you're looking for who? Oh, this is just like our community uniform. This is how we dress.
Like the 10th door, the FBI agents are going, oh, for fuck's sake, another one!
That would totally happen nowadays.
Yeah,
people would definitely do that.
Yeah, that's because we're horrible as a society and don't care for laws.
Or just have a great sense of humour for a legend.
Yeah, definitely. So there were other search parties carried out, and there was patrol boats going along Lake Merwin and Yale Lake, which is a reservoir around the area, and even a marine salvage company used a kin submarine to search the lake. But there was no trace of Cooper and nothing from the aircraft that he took with him. But in November of 1978, a placard printed with instructions for lowering the aft stairs of a 727 was found by a deer hunter near a logging road, which was about 13 miles away from the area.
As if he just abandoned his instructions. I'll just leave these here.
It's a little bit on the nose, isn't it? Like, the exact thing he was doing, and it was just found in this area.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll just leave these here.
And like over 8 years later.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, adds up. Why wouldn't you have done that? Yeah. But in 1980, 3 stacks of $20 bills were found on the banks of the Columbia River. It was downstream of Vancouver, Washington, and this was found by 8-year-old Brian Ingram, and they were identified by their serial numbers as being from the ransom.
I would not have turned those in.
Do you know what? He sold 15 of them in 2008 for $38,000.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, he did. He made dollar bill on them, didn't he?
So some were actually... So basically, from what my understanding of it is, 15 were taken by the FBI. No, 10 were taken by the FBI. Brian kept 15, and the rest were handed back to the insurance company. Now, they'd been out there for over, nearly 10 years, so they were in a shit state. So they just went, there you are, have them, see what you can do with them. They were all deteriorated and shit because they've been outside for this long, and the insurance company went, what were you going to do with these?
Sell them at auction.
Yeah,
DB
exactly.
Cooper's ransom.
So Brian made $38,000 on them.
Good for Brian.
Well done. Yeah, exactly.
Good on him.
Now,
I'd have done the same.
I would have just gone.
I'd have framed one of them though.
I mean, you're an 8-year-old. I would have bought so much candy. Oof.
Candy?
Sugar rush.
You're American now.
Yeah, well.
I know they were American, but you're not.
Well, I was going to say Tang Fastics, but...
I figured you would have bought top shelf. Never mind Tang Fastics.
As an 8... Yeah,
as an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
you were brought up in Manchester.
Fair play, yeah.
Let's be realistic.
Yeah, true. You can take the boy out of Manchester, but you can't take Manchester out of the boy.
Exactly.
So, as this actual investigation was only closed in 2016, and it contains 60 volumes of case files on this, there are thousands of suspects. And over 1,000 serious suspects were investigated. And although it's closed, local police and FBI officers will still accept credible leads, and all the files are actually preserved, and you can go and read them in the FBI museum. They're being preserved for historical purposes.
Love it.
But just going to talk about a couple, well, 3 of the main, I'm going to say main suspects, but some of the ones that kind of stood out to me. I mean, maybe you know some different, because I know you do love this case. But
I do.
The first one is Sheridan Peterson. Now, Sheridan Peterson was a US Marine Corps during World War II, and he was later employed as a technical editor at Boeing, which was based in Seattle. Now, they took an interest in this guy because he loved taking personal risks, and he was quite a proficient jumper, skydiver. And he actually wrote in 2007, actually, the FBI had a good reason to suspect me. Friends and associates agreed that I was without a doubt D.B. Cooper. There were too many circumstances involved for it to be a coincidence. So he's kind of hyping himself up here.
Yeah, you just would though, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
Yeah,
DB
of course.
I totally was D.B. Cooper. I would admit to being D.B. Cooper, like tomorrow. But they'd be like, yeah, you're a girl. Well, I had a sex change. You're also far too young. I had a Benjamin Button thing reversed. The thing, where you you don't own a suit. I own a suit. I can own a suit. Get me to Primark right now.
You can't tie a tie, so it could have been you.
I can definitely tie a tie. Exactly. That's exactly why it couldn't have been you, because you would never use a clip-on. Busted, bitch.
I find it abhorrent to use a clip-on.
Yeah, okay, it wasn't me. But I would totally say it was me, because he's a fucking legend.
So he also said, at the time of the heist, I was 44 years old. That was the approximate age Cooper was assumed to have been, and I closely resembled Sketch's a hijacker. But what was even more incriminating was a photo of me stimulating a skydiving manoeuvre for Boeing's news sheet. I was wearing a suit and tie, the same sort of garb Cooper had worn, right down to the Oxford loafers.
Wow.
It was noted that skydivers don't normally dress so formally. No shit.
They normally don't. That's slightly suspect.
You fall into Earth 15,000 feet above, and you're like, oh god, one of me brogues has come off. I'm gonna have to walk halfway back in one of my socks now.
Yeah, that's a little bit sus.
I mean, the FBI did look at him, but there is a book about Sheridan Peterson that I can't remember who wrote it, but someone has investigated him thoroughly and is convinced that he is the person. Sheridan Peterson died earlier this year, and obviously took his secret to the grave. I mean, maybe not a secret, because he's kind of bigging himself up there, going, yeah, maybe it was
me. Yeah, but how many people have literally been on their deathbeds and been like, I was DB Cooper. And the family's like, oh, no way. Like,
So,
literally, the family in the bed next door are going, oh, no way. My relative was DB Cooper as well. Grandad may have been fibbing ever so slightly.
it's amusing that you say that, because the next one, Dwayne L. Webber, actually did a deathbed confession.
Of course he did.
Now, he was a World War II Army veteran who served time in at least 6 prisons for burglary and forgery, so he's a bit of a... Ooh. He was proposed as a suspect, and this is based all on what he said on his deathbed confession. So 3 days before he died in 1995, Webber told his wife Jo, "I am Dan Cooper." Now, the name meant nothing to her. So that's an awkward 3 days, isn't it?
Of course you are, sweetheart.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know who that is. Whatever. Yeah. Keep on going, love. Yeah.
Like when like the relatives and the nurses come in, they're like, "I am Dan Cooper." His wife's just like, "It's all right. Yesterday he said he was Rolf Harris. Just ignore him. Honestly,
Exactly.
Doesn't know what day it is."
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got a fever again. It's all right. Fine.
I am Batman. You see what I mean? This is every day.
So it was only a few months later that one of her friends told her... See, I don't get how this comes about, because a friend told her of the significance in the hijacking. So she must have been like, oh yeah, he's proper mad at the end. He said his name was Dan Cooper. And then the friends having tea and went, "Oh, what, that guy that ordered a bourbon and coke and jumped out of the plane in sunglasses with 200 grand.
Oh my God, we got a new conservatory and I always wondered where we got that money from.
This is the thing. I wondered why 1 minute we were living at our parents', the next minute we had our own chateau in France. Yeah, okay, love, whatever. So she went to the local library to research DB Cooper, and she found Max Gunther's book and discovered notations in the margins in her husband's handwriting.
I'm not being
Bit
funny,
of a
right?
stretch.
But I literally, if I was in the library and somebody had written in the margins, I wouldn't be able to tell if it was Dave's writing or not. Like I'm surprised if like when he writes me a birthday card, I'm like, is this even the same writing? I wouldn't recognise his writing. Although I guess back in those days, everybody was writing things instead of texting things, I suppose.
Yeah, but let's be honest, have you ever been to a library and opened a book and not seen a penis drawn in the corner?
Oh no, never.
Exactly.
And I've never automatically assumed it was Dave either. He can't read for a start.
Don't even have a library card. Why would he be in there?
Exactly. Oh my God, what has Dave been... Dave, you are sus right now.
Are you DB Cooper, Dave?
I mean, his name does start with a D.
Oh my God.
And his last name is B. He could have just added the Cooper onto the end.
Solved it.
Dave is
Done.
actually DB Cooper.
You
know what? I'm going to ask him if he can fasten a tie, a proper one, and if he says no, solved it, innit?
That's it. Done.
Mm-hmm. I will turn him in, though, because I want the ransom money.
Oh, I don't think there is any ransom money now.
Oh.
They've closed the case.
Oh, well, fuck it then. We'll just go viral on a podcast, shall we?
Yeah. Just, that's your claim to fame now.
Woo!
It's going, Weatherspoon's like that. Do you know who this is? This is DB fucking Cooper, yeah?
DB fucking Cooper. Yeah, I feel like at CM Weatherspoons, people will be like, who?
Wikipedia that shit, yeah?
Didn't hear you're on about, love. Trying to into our pints here.
It'd still be like £3 for 2 pints. It's not...
Yeah, no free
not
pints.
extortionate, is it?
Yeah.
Really? So then, Dwayne's widow then recalled in retrospect. Obviously, it's always like, oh yeah, now you mention it, he was a bit mad.
Yeah.
Webber once had a nightmare during which he talked in his sleep about jumping from a plane. Very specific. And leaving his fingerprints on the aft stairs.
I don't think anybody's That's
that's never
real.
like. Sometimes I have night terrors, and sometimes I cry out. Sometimes I talk in my sleep, but I've never gone, oh no, I'm on a plane, I'm hijacking it. Oh, I've left my fingerprints on the aft stairs. Fuck.
Yeah, that's not a thing. You don't wake up in a cold sweat going, oh fuck. I just had the worst nightmare. I thought I'd left my fingerprints on the aft stairwell. Oh fucking hell. Like, for your partner to go back to fucking sleep, you've woken me up, it's 2:00 in the morning. Crazy twat.
I just think Joe just didn't like him and was like, how can I ruin his life after death?
Yeah, that definitely, yeah.
So there's other circumstantial evidence, like he explained an old knee injury had been incurred by jumping out of a plane. He was a World War II Army veteran.
It's entirely likely he jumped out of a plane at some point in his life then. Not necessarily the same one.
Yeah. And like DB Cooper, he drank bourbon and chain smoked. It was the fucking 70s. Everyone did it.
Everybody did, yeah.
There wasn't like warnings about that kind of stuff.
No.
So that's all a bit circumstantial, but it's just quite funny that when he's on his deathbed, he goes, I'm DB Cooper. And she's like, fair enough. Do you want a cup of tea? Just nothing. And 3 days later, he dies. It's like, oh, fucking awkward. I've told you my intimate secret, and you just blanked me, bitch.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I feel like there's a lot of old men back in those days that were like, I was DB Cooper.
Yeah,
and
of
their
course.
wives just patting their hands going, of course, dear.
Of course you were. Of course you were. Of course you were, Grandad. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Tomorrow you'll be James fucking Bond. Bless.
Yeah. Now, for me, this one is probably the best one, which is Richard McCoy Jr. Now, McCoy was an Army veteran, and he'd served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. Now, first of all, he was a demolition expert, and then later, with the Green Berets, as a helicopter pilot. So, that's kind of 2 of the boxes that are getting ticked there. After his military service, he became a warrant officer in the Utah National Guard, and he was an avid recreational skydiver. So there's a few boxes being ticked there, but then on April the 7th, 1972, McCoy staged the best known of the so-called Copycat Hijackings. So he boarded United Airlines Flight 855, which was the same kind of plane, a Boeing 727 with aft stairs, in Denver, Colorado. There you go. And brandished what was later proved to be a paperweight resembling a hand grenade. So, Acme.
Of course.
And he demanded 4 parachutes and $500,000. After delivery of the money and the parachutes at San Francisco International Airport, McCoy ordered the aircraft back into the sky and bailed out over Provo, Utah, leaving behind his handwritten hijacking instructions and his fingerprints on a magazine he had been reading. So a little bit amateurish, but there's a lot of things there you go, maybe it's not just a copycat, his wife wanted a loft conversion now. She's got the conservatory. Now she wants a loft, bitch. So he was arrested on the 9th of April with the ransom cash in his possession. Rookie mistake. And after trial and conviction, he received a 45-year sentence. But 2 years later, he escaped from Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary, which is one of the hardest penitentiaries to escape
Smooth.
from. Yeah. And with several accomplices, he crashed a garbage truck through the main gate, so maybe it weren't that hardcore back in the day. They were just like, fucking hell, just leave the garbage truck here, unattended, with the keys in. So, 3 months later, McCoy was killed in a shootout with FBI agents. Again, taking the secret, maybe, to the grave.
You know what, though? He does, like, I'm literally looking at a picture of him right now, and he does look like the artist's picture of...
The effort of him.
He does. He really does. He's got the ears.
Yeah. I think Richard McCoy, just for looking for the age he would have been, and just for how he must have known. See, the thing is, with what happened, because he must have had knowledge about unless it was a suicide mission, he wanted to get away with $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
So he needed to know to have, because obviously army parachutes, maybe they could have done something to it, whereas a civilian parachute, they're not going to mess with it.
Yeah.
2 parachutes, because they thought he's going to take a civilian, so we can't throw a dummy parachute in.
It was very smart.
Knowing that the aft stairs could be lowered during the flight, knowing that under 10,000 feet and having a depressurized cabin wouldn't cause that thing in the movies in the films where you open the door and everything flies about.
Yes.
He knew all of this beforehand. And he was doing a skydive at night in loafers and a suit.
Yeah, he clearly knew what he was doing.
So surely he was like, you know what? I may not get away with this, but here we go. He was like 100% going, I'm going to be spending this money in about 6 hours.
He was either really, really sure of himself, or he was like terminally ill and he was like, fuck it, this is on my bucket list. I'm going to do it.
That's the thing as well. But then, why would he have done it on a commercial flight?
Shits and giggles.
I suppose when you say that, yeah. I said it and then I thought, you know what, just for the adrenaline rush of it.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But I really think that he knew what he wanted. And as well, he was so precise about his demands for the money, because he wanted it in $20 bills, stacks of $100,000 in $20 bills, because it would weigh 21 pounds.
Yeah, he'd clearly thought it out beforehand. It wasn't just like a spur of the moment thing. Like there's a lot of planning that went into this. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. So the only way if he did have some terminal illness, fine, fair enough. But he was doing this to complete it. He wasn't doing it. It was like, do you know what? If he's got a terminal illness, he's like, right, fine, fair enough. Yeah. I can do this. And then if I don't do it, then that's not going to kill me. The cancer or whatever isn't going to kill me. But if I do it, I get 200 grand.
Yeah.
But he's also not going into it thinking, you know what, this will be a jackass thing to do and I'll put it up on YouTube kind of thing. He's going in, he knows exactly what he's doing, and the amount of detail that he put into it,
yeah, that was logic.
Not think that he just landed and just went walking off whistling through the woods and clicking his heels.
Yeah.
There's also a theory that the reason why he was wearing a suit is because he was landing in such a densely wooded area. If he was hitchhiking, because he was in a suit, he would have been picked up easier than if he was in jeans and like a hoodie or whatever, because they just think, oh, goddamn hippie, I'm not picking them up. But if they saw someone in a suit, it's like, oh, businessman.
Yeah, fair statement.
So maybe that's what went into his thought process as well.
Yeah. Good thinking.
It's just such a
He's a legend.
Exactly. Like the first time I heard about this, I was like, nah, he's definitely just gone. The parachute's not opened and he's just face planted into the woods. Or even worse case scenario, he's landed. buttocks first on one of them big pine trees, and he's still stuck there today.
No, I think he 100% got away with it and
but
pulled
then
it off.
you read into it, and he has planned this out too meticulously to think about. And I think as well, McCoy, he was at his family's over the Thanksgiving weekend, and he was supposed to be back in work on the Monday. Mm-hmm. So one of the FBI agents said Thanksgiving weekend, because it's a 4-day weekend, is the perfect time to do this if you're going to be back in work on the Monday, because you've got so much time to get back.
Yeah.
To where you're going, kind of thing. Even if you are in the middle of nowhere, like the suit, he would have been picked up easier hitchhiking. He's got $200,000 in the back of his pocket. He could have just gone got to somewhere normal, got on a train, got on a Greyhound, done.
Yeah.
And it didn't take the FBI. It took the FBI like more than 2 hours to start the search. Never mind narrow down the search, because they had to wait until a plane landed in Reno to make sure he still wasn't on it. So they were already so far behind him. He could have got out of that forest. He could have been anywhere by the time they went, oh, well, we've narrowed it down to this location. Let's see if we can find any evidence. Not them other parachutes that are all in them trees. That's nothing to do with us at the minute. Someone rings that in, we may get on it, but not now.
I love it.
But yeah, and I think it's one of the longest running investigations of the FBI as well, because it was going on for 45 years?
Yeah, 50 years on this year.
Yeah, so, and it's not a dead case. They're still actively investigating leads on it. So
I hope he never gets found out, because the man is a fucking legend.
Exactly.
Absolutely love him.
Exactly. I mean, I've said this previously, but when you're talking about a story, you should always print the legend rather than the actual facts. And even if these are facts, they are still legendary facts about the guy. It is a fact that he ordered a bourbon and soda. It's a fact he was wearing a suit, sunglasses, and loafers when he jumped out of the plane.
He's amazing.
It's a fact that he took $200,000. It's a fact that he planned all of this out. And
he's absolutely amazing. He's a genius, and I'm gonna be like DB Cooper when I grow up, except without the clip-on tie, the plane, or the money thievery. Probably just the bourbon and coke bit. Maybe the sunglasses.
Yeah. So, an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Why change a good thing?
Exactly.
So there we go on that bombshell. This has been the MO podcast with me, Contumacious Ant.
And me, Atreya.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and we shall see you next time.
Bye.
The MO podcast. The MO podcast.